warning before you listen. This epic is not for children, nor for the faint of heart. We retell the ancient Greek myths as they were born, unfiltered, unsoftened. Scenes of violence, curses, betrayals, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. Given the many conflicting versions of the Titan War, the events have been rebuilt to complete the missing pieces. Here, we tell the myth as it was meant to be told. Sources and references are listed in the episode description. Chapter 4. From the Titan War, Clash of Weapons and the Fall of Time. The Forgotten Crime. The Imprisonment of the Brothers Beneath the Earth. When Cronus betrayed the mother's oath. Night still wrapped the cave in silence, but within it, ages were unraveling. Zeus sat as one listening to a story that belonged to him, yet was born after the echo broke. Gaia stood before him. Her eyes didn't narrate, they bled. Her voice didn't tell a tale, it resurrected the dead in every word. She said, "When I gave the sickle to my son, I believed I was freeing him from the sky that strangled him. I thought I was saving the earth, but I forgot. A weapon cannot restore balance if placed in the hands of one who does not understand pain." Then she opened her palm, and before Zeus, the memory pulsed to life. It wasn't a dream, it was the earth's own remembrance, streaming raw across the chest of time. After Uranus fell, the world shook, as though it had gone into labor once more. Cronus, the son who had severed the heavens, held his father's head like vengeance delayed. Gaia approached him, blood dripping to the soil, scars of the battle carved into her every pore.
She said, "You have freed me. Now be what you promised. Unchain the others, release your brothers, the Cyclopes, the Hecatoncheires, my children, whom the sky disfigured and buried in Tartarus. Soldiers, silenced in a prison too deep for echoes." Cronus made a vow. With his hands still stained by the sickle, he said, "I will. They are not my enemies. They are my brothers. Their power will become the walls of my throne." Gaia left, believing, for once, she would sleep without hearing screams from below. But Cronus did not sleep, did not forget, did not understand. In his eyes, the Hecatoncheires were not brothers. They were walking cataclysms, walls of rage, breaths that shook stone, fists that shattered time. And the Cyclopes? They were not just craftsmen, they were the edge of every weapon, makers of fire, engineers of thunder. Their single eyes saw things that made thrones tremble. He feared them. He feared that his throne would be carved apart by the very hands he had freed.
In the cover of night, as Gaia planted the first flower of a new age, Cronus issued the order. Chains, not of iron but of time. They were cast back into the earth. The Hecatoncheires buried in a depth where even fire dared not dwell. The Cyclopes sealed in cells of darkness that would never explode. When Gaia returned, she asked, "Where are my children?" Cronus laughed, lied. They emerged, but the light was too much for them. They returned willingly. She did not answer, did not scream. But beneath her, the earth cracked. From that day forward, Gaia never looked him in the eye as a mother. She looked at him as a witness to a betrayal that shattered inside her womb. Now, staring at Zeus, she said, "Your brothers may have eaten you, but before they devoured you, he imprisoned them. He swallowed the children of Rhea and buried the children of the earth." She fell silent, but the cave did not calm. Its walls trembled, as though every word she spoke awakened something listening from far beneath. Zeus stepped forward. The lightning in his blood was no longer a waiting storm, it had become a summons. "Tell me where," he said. Where are they? How do I reach them? She looked at him as though seeing past victory and whispered, I will open the path, but do not step lightly. The ones you will free are no longer what they were. They are now the 100-handed beasts. They are now the fist yet to fall. She leaned closer, her voice the sound of a wounded earth. Once the way to them was easy. A gate of magma opened once every 1,000 years. But Cronus destroyed that gate. He tore the ground into 7 layers between us and them. He placed levels of torment, each one passable only by those on the edge of death. If you are ready, I will open the path. But remember, no one who goes down there ever returns the same. Then she raised her hand and whispered something too old to be heard, and the earth split before Zeus like an ancient scar torn open once more. At its edge, the journey began. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us, which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why? We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.